So the View Cube, I think this is probably, if anything, in Fusion 360, I think this is the greatest thing ever invented, especially as a beginner. And even for me now, 7 years on, I love the View Cube and I use that more than anything else. So the great thing about the View Cube, obviously you can go front and then you can rotate it with these arrows. So, and the great thing is I'm watching the front and I'm watching the angle that that's going in. So when I go that way, I know my model's upside down because front's upside down. Also, you have these ones here, which is the little triangles, and this will allow you just to rotate it in that axis. And then obviously you can also click corners and you can click front pieces. So it's a great way, I think, of orientating around, because the difference for me is I use a Mac, first of all, so I'm different to everybody else. And I use a trackpad for Fusion. Who would have ever thought somebody didn't use a mouse? But I don't use a mouse. I use a trackpad. So to me, the View Cube is a great way for me of navigating around. Now there's a little thing here, which is a drop down option. And that's also available if you right click the cube. It's exactly the same menu. There's two different views. There's orthographic and perspective. I'm not going to go into it now. I'm just going to say personally, I prefer orthographic as a way of modeling. Sometimes you may find that you prefer that angle as your home view. That's where you keep going back to. Set current view as home, which can either be a fixed distance, which is depending if you've zoomed out, it will be from that distance, or it'll be fit to view, which will just make it fill the screen as much as it can. Also, if you've reset the home and you don't like it, you can always press the reset home button and that will reset it. One thing that's also quite handy, if you've made the model and let's say you've made it of a building and you want that to be the front of the building, now not the back, you do have an option. If you right click, set current view as, you can rechange that and call it front, which is handy if you're modeling somewhere and you need to know what's the front of the building and what's the back of the building. It will eventually change, I'm sure. There we go. It does take a little while, so you just sometimes have to be patient on that. And a little tip, this is quite a cool one. If you are in a view like that, and then you go front, and if you want to see the whole thing on the screen, F6, I'll just do it, we'll zoom it out and fit it all into the screen. This is a quick way. If you've zoomed out and you're somewhere weird on the model and you just want it all back to fit neatly on the screen, F6 is a little cool shortcut.